My name is Zach Jackson. I go to the University of Oregon. I am a sophomore and my major is English.
My name is Jake Laskin. I am currently a math major at the University of Oregon. The sport that I play is called Ultimate Frisbee.
I play for the Ultimate Frisbee team, the B team here at the University of Oregon. Ultimate's a really great game. There's all sorts of really good camaraderie, good competitiveness, and more than anything, I think it's the team aspect. You don't just have teammates here. It's almost a brotherhood in that regard. Everyone's tight on the team, and so I think that's a really valuable experience to get out of it.
So the type of experience that Ultimate Frisbee gives to me is really hard to describe without going into elaborate detail, because there is so much that it has to offer. You have the camaraderie that you get to develop with your teammates. You have the competitiveness of the sport itself, but at the same time, not too competitive like a basketball or a football.
All sorts of people say it's some amalgamation of soccer and basketball and football and all these different sports. And I think part of it is it's just competitive, and it's competitive, but in a really good way. It's good-natured.
Or a team has a really incredibly high level of commitment where they practice 5 days a week, work outside of practice, lift weights. Whereas the team I'm on, the B team, we don't have that kind of commitment. It's show up 3 days, scrimmage, and maybe throw outside of practice.
There's a high level of commitment. We have to practice 2 or 3 times a week during the season, and outside of practice we have throwing practice where we work on our mechanics, and because we're a club team we have fundraisers we have to go to so that we can raise money to go to tournaments and stuff. So there's a big time commitment, and a physical one too, with the training aspect.
Usually the Division I sports are incredibly competitive because it's for money, and the money that it brings in from the audience watching the sport, and the scholarships are also really competitively tight. And I'd really hate to see that become part of the ultimate environment, where people are competing for players rather than where players are competing for fun because they want to play, not because they feel like they have to. And also because it's self-officiated, it'd be really tough to have it be fair all the time.
I don't know if Ultimate should be a Division I sport. It's certainly, the level of competition could definitely warrant that, and a lot of major colleges have really high level teams. But at the same time, Frisbee is about spirit of the game and being competitive, but in a good-natured way. So I don't know if that lends itself to a Division I sport so much.
The cost for Ultimate Frisbee is definitely a problem. Because we're not a Division I sport and we're a club sport, we have to do a lot of fundraising for ourselves. Plus, the amounts of teams in the area are very sparse, so we usually have to travel quite a ways in order to play other teams. Because after 2 months of playing nothing but yourself, it kind of gets boring, and you want to go out and travel. And usually the closest teams available are in Southern California, so it can get a little pricey.
I don't think cost is that big of a deal. There are certainly costs involved, but honestly, you can play Ultimate with a pair of cleats and a disc. That's all you really need, and that's one of the really good things about it. I think you get a real appreciation for the community here once you play Ultimate here at U of O, because it's not just the team on campus that you end up meeting. You end up meeting the women's team too, and then there's the Ultimate community in Eugene, and it's really easy for people to pick it up and play. So I think you just get access to that really tight-knit community.
One thing that a person can gain after playing the sport is definitely a feeling that they're part of something bigger. I hate to make it sound so cinematic, but it is true in the sense that when you're out there, you realize that you do make a difference, but it's not all about you. you're a bigger part of the movement down the field. Even though you may not feel like you're doing something important, you are. And that's kind of the way it is in the real world. It's like you may not feel like you're important, you may not feel like you're doing something that matters, but you are. Every contribution you make helps someone else, and it helps the entire world move on, just like an ultimate.